This is Lowry Air Force Base. Lowry Air Force Base? You probably didn't think when you joined the Army that you'd wind up training on an Air Force base. Well, we didn't either. That's why we put together this briefing, to give you an idea on the courses that the Army has to offer here. First, we'll start with the 26 Tango course, or television maintenance.
I'm Sergeant R. Scott Kruger. I'm an E5 Sergeant, Army type, here at Lowry Air Force Base. I'm an instructor in the broadcast television maintenance course and in the basic television course. There are 6 blocks presently in the SET school. The first block is AEP, or Applied Electronic Principles. That's where they learn how resistors work, how capacitors work together with the resistors, things like that. Then they come to this school, which is the SET school. They start off in block 2, which is television principles. There they learn everything about the color television signal and the black and white television signal, how we transmit and how we receive, and all the little ins and outs of TV as a whole. From there they progress to block 3, where they're taught about television monitors, like the ones you see behind me here. Presently we're teaching only black and white monitors. Eventually, when we get the funds, we'll be into color monitors. A monitor is the same thing as a television receiver. It's what you have at home, except for the fact that it doesn't have a tuner. You can't watch TV on a monitor. It's only a video signal in. From there they go to block 4, which is the block I'm sitting in right now. This block is the studio block. They learn how to operate cameras, how to repair switchers, audio equipment, things like that. Normal things that you see in a normal television station you'll find in this block. From there they progress to block 5, which right now is television receivers. There they learn the transmitted signal, how it's received, how it's transmitted, the little ins and outs of television receivers, how we pick it up through antennas, amplify it, and then it comes out on your screen as a television picture. And then finally they progress to block 6. VTRs, block 6, is probably the toughest block that they're going to experience, or that you will experience if you're in this school, in that you have to be a good mechanic as well as a good electronics technician to be a good VTR repairman. It's a lot of hard work, but with a proper attitude you can get through it all.
Let's take a look at the photography course, or 84 Bravo.
I'm Don Harshman, Instructor Supervisor of the Apprentice Still Photographic Specialist course of the Photosciences Division. Our tech training here allows us to train students from Army, Air Force, Marine, and Coast Guard services. When you attend your training here, you will be undergoing 8 blocks of instruction. The first block begins with very fundamentals of photography. You learn theory of light and film and developer characteristics. You will progress into block 2. You will be introduced to various other type light sources, including electronic flash. In addition, you will also learn projection printing, those negatives that you have exposed in your cameras up to date. In block 3, you will be trained on 35mm cameras, or what we call small format. Again, you will do the same techniques you have done previously, only we expect a little more from your production. In block 4, you will be participating in copy and reproduction photography. Block 5, you will undergo training in military portraiture. This includes not only the chain of command type photos, but the full lengths required by the various military services for your official files. In block 6, you get what we call our blood and guts, or basic nuts and bolts photography. In block 7, you get color theory, and you expose both negative and positive materials. You advance to block 8, and you will print the negative materials that you have exposed in the previous block. So, on behalf of the Photosciences Division, I would like to welcome you to Lowry Air Force Base.
Our 35 Hotel is the next course we'll show you.
Hi, I'm Sergeant First Class Bradley. I'm NCOSC of Army Liaison at the Metrology Training Division. We are a tri-service calibration school. We teach the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force the art and science of calibration. I'd like to welcome you to the school, give you a brief overview of what we do here, and also the contents of the different blocks that we have here. Prior to coming to this particular school, students have gone through a 79-day period of applied electronic principles, which is basically basic electronics. When they enter this school, they are already trained in the different circuits and different type electronic equipment that we use in the school. We have a total of 5 consolidated blocks, and by consolidated I mean that all the Army and the Air Force and the Marine students go through these blocks together. The first block, which we call Block 2 here at this school, is an introduction to the techniques of metrology, which are basically common to the 3 services. We introduce the students to basic DC and AC calibration. We have them do simple meter movements. We also have them do basic repair principles. The second block, our Block 3, is an introduction to AC and DC standards. We have them work on precision AC amplifiers, DC amplifiers. We have them do a little higher level accuracy calibration. Our next block is waveform measurement circuits, basically oscilloscopes. We have them work on oscilloscopes, calibrate and repair oscilloscopes. We do both real-time oscilloscopes and sampling oscilloscopes. Next block is signal generation. We do different types of signals such as amplitude, phase, and FM modulation. Our next block is a new block for us here. It is an introduction to repair techniques. In this block, students will learn how to do analog and digital repair. At that time, they are ready to go into their respective add-ons. The Army goes through a 3-block course, 38 days long. The first block, we introduce them to Army calibration techniques and the Army paperwork. We also introduce them to the TACS, or Tactical Army Combat Computer Support computer system. We have them do our production control program on that. We also do a little bit different version of oscilloscope calibration and repair. The Army then goes into a DC and low laboratory where we teach them DC and low, direct current, low frequency equipment techniques. Concluding that, we go into an 8-day block on physical and dimensional repair, such as torque wrenches, gauge blocks, micrometers, and pressure gauges. This is the only course at the basic level that is taught in PhysD in the school. When you go through this school, we will be training you on specific items of equipment. However, what we're trying to actually teach you is not the items themselves, but the parameters that you need to learn to calibrate different pieces. When you go out in the field, you'll be responsible for knowing and calibrating and repairing approximately 2,600 different pieces of equipment. We obviously can't teach you 2,600 pieces of equipment in the school. So what we will teach you is using specific items of equipment. We'll teach you parameter calibration. And what we hope you get out of the school is the ideas behind and the concepts behind what you're doing, not just how to do one particular scope or how to do one particular meter. We hope you enjoy your stay while you're here at the division. We are endeavoring to give you the best training possible. We hope that everything we've done is successful.